Amazing. You're here for session 2 of Elevate Your Decor Business. Today, we're going to set the foundation for a better and improved organizational system that will allow you to make more money and keep your sanity. That seems to be the goal in your event decor business, right? We want to make sure that we are busy, but we are not running around trying to figure out all at once. And we want to make sure that we profit in the business that we decided to create. So if you are here, you've probably been or saw lesson at session number 1. So you know that my name is Oralia. I've been doing event decor for 17 years now. I started with the Dream Mastermind group in 2020, and now it has evolved to coaching. So I coach now I've been a coach now for about a year, and I started Event Decor Academy in May. So I'll talk a little bit more about that at the end of the session. And you probably saw this last time. I won't go through everything again. If you didn't see it, I'll put the link. If you're watching the recording, I'll put the link below on the description. If you're doing it right now, if you're live, I'll put it on the chat right now so you can have the link for session number 1. As a reminder, who am I not? I'm not a fairy godmother. So everything, all the information that I give you, you have to put into the work. You have to make sure that you take that information home, that you know and make notes and make a to-do list or do whatever you need to with the information, but you actually put it to work. So by attending this session or by watching any of the recordings or the videos, it doesn't mean that your business is now going to thrive. There is some work that you need to put into it. So with these sessions, session 1, 2, or 3, you're going to get a workbook. So in that workbook, there's a lot of homework to do. So make sure that you do it. Also, I'm not a therapist or a psychologist or a lawyer or an accountant. I'm a business coach. So all the information that I provide here is based on my own experience and learning. However, I take very seriously into looking where the information is coming from. So I just don't say things because of I want to say them. I actually do research. I read a lot. I make sure that all the information that you're getting today and any of the sessions or master classes or the coaching that I give is information that you can prove and that you can make sure that you know a little bit more about it. With that said, if you are live, you know the reminders. You can have your mic open to ask any questions, or you can do it on the chat. I would love to see your lovely face, and you can take screenshots. Just don't share it with any other people. If you're watching the recording, this doesn't apply to you. Okay, so last session, we talked about achieving your goals. As a business, your main goal is to make money. Your main goal may be to free up some of your time so you can spend that time with family and friends. It might be to have a lot of sales, to have a lot of clients, to service a lot of people or a lot of events. But we saw that in order to achieve those goals, in order to make sure that those are things that you actually do and they're not just on a piece of paper somewhere, that they have to be SMART goals, meaning specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely. Again, if you haven't seen session number 1, I'll put the link on the chat if you're live, or on the description, the video description if you're watching the recording, so you can go back and watch it and check everything you need about goal setting. Also, one of the other things that we learned is that there's two kinds of people, the thinkers and the doers. But in order to achieve those goals, to make sure that you complete the things that you're saying you're going to do, there needs to be a balance in between those two. So you have to be a thinker in the process of having the SMART goals. You have to put them on paper. You have to make sure that there's an action plan. And a doer, because when you have your goal tracker and you have a very nice written action plan, you have to make sure that you do every single step of that action plan. Otherwise, you're just not going to complete what you say you were going to do, and you may even feel defeated, or it might be hard to complete some things in the business because if you don't do the work, again, not fairy godmother over here, if you don't do the work, you're not going to see that business to be successful or to thrive. There needs to be work involved. So, this is a summary of session one. And today we're going to talk about organization because that's one of the biggest things that a lot of entrepreneurs in the event industry have in their businesses. So maybe you feel like you're just running around putting all the time, putting fires out. Maybe you don't have enough time to complete everything that you need to do, whether this is your full-time job or maybe you have family, another full-time job. Maybe you work part-time, only a few hours a week, but you still need to have more time in order to take care of your business. Maybe it's energy. Maybe you just need more energy if you are a mom, or if you take care of children, or if you take care of parents or dogs or whatever it is. Maybe you just need more energy. Or there might be some things that are new to you. Not every business owner gets born knowing everything about the business. So maybe you just need a little bit of more knowledge and education about the things that you need to do. Or you're worrying about where the next job is coming from. If inquiries are low, if clients are not signing contracts, of course, you're wondering where they are, how I can get them to hire me for their events. What you really want is to have a regular work routine that works for you. Every situation is different, every entrepreneur is different, so we have to make sure that the work routine works for you and that it allows you to enjoy quality time with friends and family, knowing that you are the one that are in control of the business and that the business is not controlling you. So if any of this sounds like you have been in this place at any time in the business journey that you're in right now, if this sounds familiar, I'm going to give you some tools today to make some real life changes that you can start doing right now. After you watch the video, you can start doing them right now and make sure that you follow through with everything. So, for example, one of the main things that people believe success is that it's a straight linear path, that when you said I'm going to start a business, there's steps to follow and all of a sudden you're successful, when in reality it looks like this. It is up and downs, there's a lot of emotions, a lot of energy that moves around all the time. But one of the things that will make sure that you get to the top and that you become a successful business in any industry, but specifically in the event industry, is to create healthy habits, healthy work habits. Especially because if you are embarking into this business, you're probably your own boss, you're an entrepreneur now. So there are things that you need to take care of in order to create those healthy habits and to become successful. Again, this is putting into the hard work. Success is not going to come overnight and it's not going to be handed to you. So you have to make sure that you create habits that work for you. Not everybody has the same habits and not every technique is going to work the same. However, these are some of the habits that you can create over time in order to be a successful entrepreneur in the event industry. So first, you have to make a daily to-do list. And you're going to tell me, why do I have to do it daily if I don't work every day? Or if this is my side job at the moment and I don't have to be present in my business all the time? Or maybe your mentality is, I only work on the weekends. I only decorate parties on the weekends. Why do I have to do a daily to-do list? Well, you have to create the habit. So in order to create that habit, you have to do it often. It's not gonna be an advantage to you to have a to-do list that you only look at the weekends. It's like if you wanted to have a healthy diet but you only do it Saturday and Sunday, and then the rest of the week you just eat junk food all the time. So that doesn't work like that. So you have to do a to-do list every day, because we want to make sure that we create a habit, but also because yes, you only decorate the event on the weekends. You only work um, in the event on the weekends, meaning the setup or the breakdown or things that you have to do is only done Saturday or Sunday. But there's things that you have to do previous to that. There's planning, there's getting ready the materials, buying stuff that you need for the event, talking to clients, sending contracts, sending invoices, making sure that the payments go through, paying for the stuff that you need to have to pay for the business. So there's so many things. So a misconception in the event industry is that the people that work decorating or designing, or that are balloon artists, or anybody in industry, even DJs or planners or catering people, the misconception in the industry is that we only work on weekends, which is, that is incorrect. There's a lot of work that needs to be done previous to an event. Sometimes we work Monday through Sunday for one event. So you have to make sure that there's a daily to-do list, so you know what is coming and you are able to finish all of those tasks, and you have a clearer mind for when the weekend comes and you have to actually go and decorate the event. The next one is to have a clear work schedule or a routine. Maybe your schedule varies every day, especially if you have another job or if you have other responsibilities to take care of. Maybe you are not the type of person that can work Monday through Friday from 9 to noon, from 9 to 3, from 3 to 7. Maybe that doesn't work for you, but you need a routine. So if I said, okay, I'm going to work 2 hours a day, um, that would be awesome. I'm gonna work 2 hours a day, but I'm going to do this. So first I'm gonna sit down to do my emails and to respond to messages. And then I'm gonna work on my to-do list. And then I'm actually going to do like flowers or buying material, whatever it is. But if you have a specific routine of the things that you need to do, it's going to be much easier than that you sitting down and not knowing what to do and trying to figure out what it needs to be done first in order to move on and do the work that needs to be done for the event. So you have to make sure that there's a clear schedule or a clear routine that you follow up all the time. Then the next one, a lot of people don't do, especially if this is your side hustle, your part-time job, your side business. A lot of people don't check their finances. And I don't mean that you have to check them every single day. You just have to make sure that if I do an event, I am actually making a profit for that event. Or if I have 3 or 4 clients for the next month, I have to make sure that all of those clients have already given me a deposit and that money is actually coming into my bank account. That is not just sitting somewhere like on PayPal or on Zelle, that is actually going into my bank account, and that the money that comes in is more than the money that goes out, because maybe I have few jobs, but I'm spending a lot of money in materials, in staff, in maybe things that I want to try it out in classes. If I'm spending a lot of money and I'm not getting that much, obviously there's going to be a disadvantage on there. So you have to check your finances. Some people do it daily, some people do it once a week, once a month, whatever it is, but there still need to be a process in checking where the money is coming from. So that way we can make sure that you're actually having a profit for every single event that you decorate or do. Then track your progress. If I know, for example, that, okay, January to April, I didn't do so good, but then the summer is coming and I know it's going to be better, then I'm going to track that, because that's going to give me advantage for when I market myself or when I want to go out and get more clients. If I know that the winter is not the best time, that's when I'm going to put my efforts into marketing, because I know that's the winter months are when people are planning their events for the summer and the fall. So that's how you're gonna track your progress. It doesn't mean that you're gonna track, not necessarily, but you can, that you're gonna track how many hours you work, how many hours you work on marketing, how many hours you work per event, things like that. You can do that as well, but the progress is mainly um is mainly to track the progress into the clients that you sign, the money that you are actually earning, the money that you're actually paying to your staff, things like that. Another one that is very important is to educate yourself. As I mentioned before, I'm going to mention it again, again, and again. Not every single entrepreneur knows everything. You are in a learning mountain. So you start at some point, maybe you have down your techniques about the actual design, the actual decorations, but you need to educate yourself in the administration side of the business, on maybe the financial education, maybe some mindset change. There's always something to learn. So you have to be aware that you're never going to finish knowing. Like, I've been in business 17 years and I'm still learning things about the business. Also, we are in a business that changes, that is pretty much the same all the time. However, there's new trends, or there's new couples coming in for the weddings, or there's a new generation coming in for their birthdays. There's new topics to talk about. There's new materials that we have to buy. So we're always have to educate ourselves about the new trends, but also about the treatment, the service treatment that a person is expecting from us, depending on their generation, their age, their race, all of those things that can be a factor into customer service. So you always have to make sure that you're educating yourself, learning something new every day if possible. So there's progress on that side as well. And then this one, a very healthy work habit is to declutter, especially us in the event decor space, because we need to carry a big inventory. That is the reality, correct? Most of us have to carry a lot of colors of the same material, a lot of colors for tablecloths, balloons, sashes, runners, all of that. Maybe I have dessert stands, but I need the same stands in gold, and I need them in silver and in acrylic, and I need to make sure that I have flowers and that I'm not buying new stuff all the time, because then there's not going to be profit. However, you also have to declutter. Again, we work in a space where trends go out on of style, and we have to make sure to leave those things, or to move on from those things so we can bring new inventory. So decluttering is a very simple thing that you can do that is going to help you in your event business decor. Another way to declutter is your workspace. How many of you have stacks of paper on your desk that you plan to go through them, but it doesn't really happen? Or that when you try to find an invoice, there's just a amount of paper and you need to find an invoice that you printed out. Or maybe declutter can be, I have 1,000 pictures of the decorations that I've done before, but I haven't filtered them out. Maybe they're just in one space, and when I'm trying to find a picture for a client, I have to go through those 1,000 pictures instead of putting them organized and neat. So declutter can mean, like, if I took 50 pictures of a job, maybe 10 of those are pretty much the same, so I only need one of them. So decluttering in all areas and aspects of the business. Another one that is very important as well is mental declutter. If you go into work, whether it's to an event or if you're doing admin job and you're on your desk, on your dining room table, or in your showroom, whatever it is, and your mind is cluttered with ideas and is not clear and is not focus on what it needs to be done, then it's going to be hard to stick to a work routine or a work schedule because your mind is cluttered with information. So trying to have an open mind about the things that you're going to work on, to be calm and relax is going to help you a lot when it's time to work. Another one talking about mental health and physical health. You have to take care of yourself. There is a lot of things that we use in our bodies that help us for the work. Our job are, if you're a designer, a balloon designer, or if you're an event designer, our jobs can be physically hard because you're working maybe 6, 8, 10, 12 hours on a weekend to do the setup. And maybe before that, there's a lot of work that had to be done. Like if you had to inflate the balloons, you probably spend hours doing that. And that is work, like hard work for your hands, for your sight. Maybe you have to get up on the ladder and down the ladder 1,000 times if you're doing backdrops and installations of balloons and things like that. So you have to make sure that if I know that I'm going into a job that is going to require 10 or 12 hours on my feet, that I rest the day before, that I actually have some good sleep, that I take care of my body that by nourishing with good foods, that if I know that I'm going to be at a job and an installation and the only access that I have is to junk food, that I bring something that is actually healthy, that I prepare for the next day, that I have protein shakes or protein bars, whatever it is. So you have to make sure that you take care of the physical part, because there's not going to be somebody that can save you from the physical wear and tear if you don't take care of yourself. Also, there's no point of you trying to take care of everything else if you're sick and cannot do the job, correct? So you have to make sure that you take care of your body, and you have to make sure that you take care of your mind. A lot of us are stressed all the time because we took on too many jobs and we don't know how to take care of every single client. That is being burnt out. So mentally, you know your capacity, and you have to make sure that you take only the jobs that you know that you're going to be able to fill. Um, Another way is that if you're stressed all the time, if you have high anxiety about every single job, that you find a space for you to meditate before an event, to make sure that there's a calm, um, it's a few minutes that you can get calm, and that you can think about the things that you're going to do, that you have a clear mind, that you're going to a job mentally prepared, especially because a lot of people get very anxious the day of their events, whether it's a wedding or a quinceañera or just a birthday party. There's still a lot of things to plan. There's a lot of moving parts on that, on an event like that, on a party like that. So we have to make sure that we are mentally prepared for the things that can come, whether it's small things or big ones that need our full attention. And then another habit that I will highly suggest, because I know many of you are not doing it, is to celebrate your wins. We all take pride in the work that we do, especially when we put our pictures on social media, when we show future clients of the parties that we have done before and how beautiful they look. But you don't celebrate yourself. And if you don't celebrate yourself, who is going to? A client might tell you, oh, that looks very nice, great work. Your partners, your family, your spouses, your friends can tell you, oh, you do amazing work. But it's not going to be as meaningful as when you celebrate it yourself. You have to make sure that you celebrate the work that you do, because you're doing it, you're crushing it, and every time that you have a win, there needs to be a celebration. It can be as small as treating yourself as um, the $2 ice cream from McDonald's, or it can be a steak dinner or a night out or a movie, whatever it is, a manicure, a pedicure, whatever works for you, a massage because your body needs it. Anything that you can do for yourself, make sure to celebrate yourself after a big event or a small event, whatever size, but make sure that you celebrate your wins. So those are a few habits. It doesn't mean that you have to do all of them, but this is a good guide for you to understand that there is a healthy work routine that you can have being an entrepreneur in the event industry. Now you're gonna say this is too hard. Like it sounds exhausting just thinking about all the things that I need to do and all the habits that I have to create. So one of the main things that I would say is just try same as the goals. You don't do everything at once. You don't do all these habits at one time. You have to make sure that you do one at a time. Because if you try to take on into building too many habits at one time, the same thing that happens when you try to achieve many goals at once is going to happen with the habits. You're going to get overwhelmed, you're going to stop, or you're going to procrastinate and not finish. So to make sure that you build one habit at a time and that is you're successful at that, I have created the habit tracker. So now there is a space for 5 over here, but what I want you to do is take care of one first, and after you have completed that for a whole month, then you move on to the second one without stopping the first one, obviously. So you already have this as a habit, then you introduce a second habit that you want to have. And then you keep track of that, the days that you did it, the days that you didn't do it. So if you're trying to use the habit tracker, you can, however, just do one at a time. And one of the things that you can do is make it obvious. That's why I have the habit tracker, because you have to make it obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying. How am I going to do that? Well, you go and print out the habit tracker and you put it on your mirror on the bathroom. You put it on your closet door. If you have a wall next to your side of the bed, you just put it right there in the wall. So it's the first time that you see every single morning. Whatever it is that you can see it all the time is gonna work best. You have to make it easy. If I'm trying to build healthy work habits, I'm not going to say I'm gonna read a book a week. If that's not something, if reading is not my thing, I'm not gonna say that I'm gonna book that I'm going to read a book a week, because that's something that is gonna be very difficult. So I'm gonna start um, small and then build from there. So if I want to read a book a week, I'm going to start by reading 10 minutes a day, then 20 minutes a day, then you increase it. And I see that, okay, by reading 30 minutes a day, I'm reading a book every 2 weeks. So, okay, my goal is to read it one a week. I have to do 1 hour a day. So again, you start small, make it easy and attractive. If reading is not your thing, just don't do that as a habit that you want to do. Maybe audiobooks will work better. So it has to be something that is good for you. Remember, everything that we're trying to do, the goals, the habits, the business practices that we do, it has to be something that works for you, because you are your own person, your own business, and your own brand. So you have to make sure that it works for you. Don't try to copy anybody else. They're not you and you're not them. Again, track your progress. Use the habit tracker. Use every single day you check a check mark if you did the habit, a cross if you didn't, or whatever you want to do it, a circle, a line, whatever works, but track your progress. Um, then there's some research that says that you have to try any new habit for at least 21 days straight in order for that habit to stick. So, for example, if I want to make sure that I look at my finances every day, and that is a habit that I want to make sure that I take care of my finances, I have to do it 21 days. I'm going to open my bank app and check the transactions and see that everything went through and that I didn't overspend money. So if I want to create a healthy relationship with money, I'm going to start by just checking my account every single day. But the very first time, I'm going to do it 21 days no matter what. So that way it creates a habit of doing it. After that, if the 21 days pass, don't just stop. Just keep doing it, but give yourself grace. So don't do it every single day. Or if that's something that's the habit that you want to do and that's the habit that you want to keep, then you just keep doing it and track it and track your progress. Then create accountability. This is a big one because we are entrepreneurs. We are on our own bosses. Most of the time, we don't have anybody to lean on in case things go south. So, for example, if I have a habit tracker right here and I have my 3 habits that I want to do every single day, and I don't do them. Like for some reason, I had a very big event on the weekend, so I wasn't able to do them on Saturday. And then Sunday, I was really tired, so I actually spent the whole day sleeping and or just resting. And I did do it Sunday. Then Monday, well, I was still tired, and I had to clean up for after the event and things like that. So if it's been 4 or 5 days, well, who knows? I didn't tell anybody that I was going to do them, so I might as well stop right now or not do them for another week and then start to picking up again. So by creating accountability, meaning you tell somebody, whoever it is, your spouse, your partner, your children, your parents, a friend, another vendor that you're friends with or you're friendly with, um, somebody on social media, a client even, that you're okay with knowing what habits you're trying to build, you can actually tell them. Let's say you're using a friend, like you can tell your friend, I really want to make sure that I read 20 minutes a day. Can you back me up with that? And they're going to say, yeah, sure. How can I do that? Well, just ask me by the end of the day. Send me a text asking me if I read the 20 minutes or asking me about what I read so I can respond to that. And if you have an accountability partner, that's going to create that habit, not only of doing whatever you're trying to do, but the habit of having accountability with yourself. So sometimes it's going to be another second person is going to be necessary. And then after you stick with those habits and you don't have to answer to somebody else anymore, you're going to make sure that you're accountable with yourself. So that is only to be in accountability with you. Okay, moving on from that. Don't compare to others, please. Don't do that ever. Again, you are your own person. You are your own brand, your own business. You have to make sure that everything that you do in your business is for you, but that it actually works for you. When you're comparing to others and you say, okay, I cannot be that financially responsible because so and so is very responsible and they're always saving money and they always have so much profit that I'm just not gonna do it. And then you get discouraged and then you stop tracking your finances and you're into debt or just not doing well. um, but maybe you don't know specifically their finance situation. Or maybe, okay, you're not in the best place, but you can always improve. There's always room for improvement. So don't compare yourself to others, especially to people in social media, because they're not always telling you the whole truth behind what is going on their business. So make sure that the only person that that you compare is to yourself. You have to be better than what you were yesterday. Okay. Same as celebrating your wins, reward yourself when you stick for a habit for a while. If I completed the 31 days of tracking my expenses and I know that I'm into a good journey of financial stability, I'm going to treat myself to have a banana split every 31st or every last day of the month if I know that I did it for at least 20 days in the month. If that is something that you want to say to yourself to make sure that you stick to the things that you're going to do for yourself and your business, then go ahead. If that is a manicure, a pedicure, a massage, whatever it is. If I said, okay, I check my finances every single day this month, I'm going to reward myself by putting $200 in my savings account instead of spending it. Because if you're building a healthy habit, your reward has to be healthy as well. So maybe those are some of the things that will encourage you to actually do those things every day or however often you want to pick. And then if for some reason you just stop, like I said, maybe you had a big job, an event, and you didn't do anything on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. On Tuesday, when you wake up, instead of beating yourself up about why you didn't do it, just pick up from where you left off. Don't try to start all over again. I didn't do it for 3 days. I acknowledge that was not the best decision, but today is Tuesday and I'm plan to do it from now until the end of the month. Or I plan to do it from now until the end of the week. Or maybe just today. And then tomorrow I'll tell myself the same thing. So day by day. So you have to make sure that if you stop, it doesn't discourage you from to keep going. Whatever point you are in the journey of building habits, you have to make sure that there most likely is going to be a setback. There's again success. Let's go back to the other slide. Success is not a linear path. It has its ups and downs. So we have to make sure that you understand that if it doesn't work for any reason, you can still pick up from where you left off. So again, if you have the elevate your business decor workbook, the habit tracker is going to be there along with the goal tracker. Okay, so maybe these are some of the problems that you're having in your business right now. Maybe you're working on a set as needed basis. What does that mean? That if I need material to do an event, I'll order it right now. I'm not planning ahead from 3 months from now. If I need to talk to a client, I'm doing it whenever I need to talk to them. I'm not planning to have those conversations, important conversations with clients before. I'm doing it at the moment that happens. Maybe you feel like a hamster on a wheel, meaning like you're running, running, and running, and the wheel is going nowhere. It's just running around in circles. So maybe you feel like you work so much, but there's actually nothing to achieve or not a specific thing that you want to achieve. So maybe this is the problem that you're having at the moment. Or you don't feel like those things, but you have notes and clients info and material orders. Like everything is all over the place on your computer, on your desk, on your showroom, on your warehouse, on your house, whatever you work from. Maybe there's information everywhere and you just need to make sure that everything is organized. So how are we going to organize this so we have a successful and run a successful business? So the solution is we have to create a to-do list and a schedule. Again, this has to be something that works for you. The to-do list and the schedule, they have to they have to fit, not feel, they have to fit within your lifestyle. Also, we have to make sure that we track the goals and the progress that you make, because the goals is something that you're going to achieve, and once achieved, you can always go bigger. So there's progress into that as well. And you're going to create a system that works for you. Not every single thing works for everybody, so you have to make sure that the things that you're planning work for you. You're not going to force yourself to build habits or to track your goals or to do things the same way that other people do if that is not the way that you want to work or the way that your brain works. So if you want to do this, if you want to get organized, I'm going to give you some information, some apps and websites as well that are going to help you track the progress, to identify the areas of growth, and allow you to optimize the operations for maximum efficiency. What does this mean? I'm just gonna make your life easier. This is what it means, that by using these apps and websites, your life is gonna get easier, your business is gonna be more successful, and you're going to identify the things that you need to work on and the things that you're doing amazing. So that way, when a client comes and they want to hire you, you have everything set up and everything in place to make sure that you have that client going and you get that money. So first, if I talk a lot about to-do lists and to make sure that you're organized, you need a calendar, whether it's an agenda, a planner, if you don't want to go digital. Um, you can have pen and paper, you can have a wall calendar, whatever works for you. Digital calendar, there's many apps. Google Calendar is the one that we all have in, or most of us have in our phones. But if you want a specific one, a digital calendar, you can have that. You just go through the app store and see one that works best for you. One of the things that I would suggest over here is that if you have a planner or an agenda on that you just is pen and paper, and then you have your digital calendar that are either in sync. If you are one of those people that need to see their appointments and everything that they're doing, their to-do list, and they need to actually like touch her and things like that, you need to make sure that you have those in sync. However, the best thing will be to only choose one. Like if you're gonna put your meetings and the things and your to-do list and your task for the day in one place, they're all going to be on the agenda, or they're all going to be on the phone, whatever works for you. Also, a lot of people might suggest to keep those separate, personal and business separate. However, I would say that you have both things together, meaning your personal calendar and your work calendar together. Because what are you going to do if a client is asking you for a phone call at Friday at 7 a.m. and you know that at 7 a.m. you have a doctor's appointment? Um, Besides that, that is maybe too early. But if you have that and then you have a doctor's appointment and you just don't have your calendars together, and you say to your client, yes, Friday at 7 works. And then when you're trying to figure out your day a few days before, a few hours before, and then you notice, oh, I forgot that I had a doctor's appointment. I actually cannot meet with my client. So by having two separate calendars, it's going to be a little bit challenging. So sync your personal and your business calendar, and if possible, have everything in one place, whether it's your agenda, your planner, or your Google app. Um, just have everything on one place. Nowadays, there's a lot of things that you can do to separate them. You can color code it, you can put specific words so you know that there are some things for business, there are some things for the personal. So whatever works for you, but make sure that you do it correctly and that they're in sync with one another. Then the next one will have spreadsheets. I know some people hate them, or at least they don't understand them, or that's why they try to shy away from them. But spreadsheets will help you a lot in your business, especially in the financial side of things. They're going to be very valuable to your business. So you can go, for example, Airtable. They do have a web version and they have an app. Excel, we all know that comes with Microsoft. So if that's something that you want to use, or that you feel that is something that you can use in your laptop, I believe there is a app version, but obviously when you have a laptop is a better view of everything. So if that works for you, you can use Excel or Google Sheets if you don't have access to Microsoft. Google Sheets is extremely similar to Excel. So any kind of spreadsheets. I'm aware that there's, like, for all of these sections that I'm giving you information about, I am aware that there's many, many more options. I'm just trying to give you the most popular ones, or the ones that I use actually in my business, because those are the ones that I'm familiar with. But I'm aware, for example, for spreadsheets, that if you just put a spreadsheets on the Google app, you're probably Excel and Google Sheets are going to be the top choices, but there might be 20, 30, or 40 more apps that you can use. So that is up to you if you want to use a different service. However, again, for informational purposes, I'm doing the most popular ones or the ones that I use personally, so I'm familiar with in case you have any questions. Okay, then the next one, you need cloud storage, not just for pictures, but for your contracts, your invoices, your client database, your inventory, even. You need to make sure that you have everything in one place. Again, if you're gonna have it in one place. So there's many like that, Dropbox, Google Drive, OneDrive. Some of them will give you up to certain gigabytes free, and then after that you have to pay either monthly or annually. So again, I know these are not all of them, these are the most popular. So make sure that when you go and check, for example, Dropbox, that you make sure how many gigabytes or even terabytes you're getting, and then that you compare the price with other services like Google Drive and OneDrive. I believe Google Drive is a lot of space, so that's why it's one of the most popular ones. So on here, what are you going to save? Again, invoices. Even if you have a CRM, and we'll talk more a little bit about this. Even if you have a CRM, there should be a backup of all your invoices and your client database. So if you have a backup of all those things, the backup should be on your cloud storage. For example, what if the app that you use for invoicing is not working at the moment and you need to access the contract like right away? Then maybe if you have it in cloud storage, saved as a PDF, you are able to get it and get the information whether the app is working or not. Or maybe you have it on your phone, but you don't have it on your laptop, things like that. So make sure that there is always accessible. Like the most important ones would be invoices and quotes, but you can have pictures, you can have providers information, things like that. Okay, now let's talk about CRM, which is Customer Relationship Management. A lot of you may be familiar with it. You might be using one of these. A lot of you is still writing contracts by hand or doing them on your laptop. That doesn't mean that is wrong. It just means that you haven't discovered a CRM that works for you. So a CRM is a customer relationship management. It's mostly a software. So that means that you're logging into a website, or even some of them, they have the app that you can install on your phone. And then you're putting all of your information in order to handle clients, to send invoices or contracts, and to even get payments on them. So one of the some of the ones that I recommend that I have actually used, or at least on a trial, are 17 Hats, Cloud, Joist, Honeybook, and Wave. If you just Google CRM, there's going to be thousands of them. And I'm not kidding. There's thousands of them. So if you're looking into one, I would suggest to look CRM for the wedding industry or the event industry, or for balloon designers. And then you will have some that are specifically done for people that are in the event industry. Other ones that I didn't put on here, but I have that I have known to be for wedding planners or organizers or people in the event industry, are Kahoots and Harpsen. So you can use those as well. You can check it out. Most of these have a free trial for at least 7 days, 2 weeks, a month. So use the free trial to work it out. Try to write an invoice. Try to put your inventory list on there. Try to put to send out a receipt. To receive a payment, that might be a little bit harder because you need to put your bank information and maybe do a login and all things like that. But try to do all of that to make sure that it's something that works for you. And give it a try for at least 7 days and use it every day, because you're not doing the same things all of a sudden. I mean, not all the time. So you have to make sure that you give it a try and see which one works best for you. There's some, like for example, Joist and Wave. They're not specifically for event designers or balloon decorators, but they do have a lot of the things that we actually use. So if there's some CRM that you like, but you notice that they're not for specifically for the event industry, don't let it discourage you from using it. They might be something that you need that some other CRM softwares don't have. So these are some of the apps that you need to organize. Now, we can go into a lot of more detail on how to organize your business, but I don't want to overwhelm you today. So we're going to stop it at that. You just check those apps or websites. Make sure, like, for example, if you're going to use a spreadsheets, to use only one service. Don't try to have some things on Excel, some things on Google, some things on Airtable. It's going to be very confusing. So I'll try to choose one. If the same goes for the other ones. If you do cloud storage, if everything is in Dropbox, then everything is on there and it stays on there. So same with the CRM and the calendar. So make sure that you give them a try and that you check that they actually work for you. Okay, what some other problems that I have in my business when I want to create a system that works for me and my clients and for the way that I'm handling my business. Maybe my problem is that I procrastinate a lot, that I have a lot of things to do, but I just wait until the last minute to do them. Or maybe I feel pressure right before the event. Why? Because I have a ton of things to do. There's a million things on my to-do list, and I don't know how to categorize them or to delegate them or to make sure that they're completed. So I just feel like there's too much and then I get anxiety right before an event. Or maybe I just took on too many events. Maybe I took on too many events. I feel like I work 18 hours a day. I have no rest. So therefore, I'm feeling burnt out. That might be because you don't have a system that works for you. You don't have a system that works for your clients. If that is the problems, if those are the problems that you're having on your business at the moment, the solution would be to first create a work schedule. I know that I talked about it before, when we're talking about the habits, but by knowing what I have to do and the task that I have to complete is going to make sure that I have time to do them, that I'm actually being mindful of the time that I have and the time that I want to work and what I receive in yeah, in the time that I work. So by creating a work schedule, we avoid procrastination, we avoid wasting time and wasting resources that are going to help us later down the road. If I have an event routine, pre-event and post-event routine, I'm going to be less stressed, less anxious. If I know that there are steps to follow right before I do an event. For example, if I always do events on Saturdays, my Fridays, I know that there should be a routine into getting the materials ready, putting them in boxes, putting them in my van or my vehicle so they can be transported. I have to contact people to confirm some things, whatever it is. You have your event routine that works for you. And if at the beginning, if you need to either print it and do check marks and make sure that you create that habit of having that routine, that's what we're going to do. Same goes with the post-event routine. After a job is completed, there's a series of tasks that I need to complete to make sure that I still give the best customer service to my clients. So we need to create those routines. And then for the solution for feeling burnt out is to create automatization. I said it right. So we have to create automatization in our process and our business. So for example, if I have a client that is asking me for a quote, then I should have an automated program or automated routine in where if a client is asking me something, there are certain steps that I need to do in order to give them a quote. If a client is ready to sign a contract, then these are the steps that I need to do in order to sign them and getting the retainer or their deposit and make sure that they book me. So by creating automatization, you are creating less work for you. Yes, it's repetitive, but it is rewarding at the end. Now, how am I going to do that? How are we going to do that? Same as how we created the organization, we're going to create systems and process to create maximum efficiency. If you are in the event decor and this is a full-time job, or even if it's not, even if this is your side hustle, you have to make sure that you create the efficiency, especially if you're a solopreneur, meaning if you're the only business owner in your business. So we have to make sure that you work less, or you work the less hours that you need to work in order to have the best results. So for time management, that is one of the biggest things that you're going to need for creating these systems and processes. Time management, because time is one of the resources that you can never get enough, or that you are never going to get back after that time pass. There's no way of getting it back. So you have to make sure that you have, again, a digital calendar. I put digital, but it can be pen and paper, an agenda, or a planner. A digital calendar, and then there's apps that can help you with that, whatever calendar you decide to do. Then, for example, this app, Forest, in case that you have a routine and then you have to make sure that you follow up with that routine, Forest and Toggle as well, they have the Pomodoro technique. And if you haven't heard, I'll explain it real quick. The Pomodoro technique is when I work for, when I work for 20 minutes and then I rest 5. I work for 50 minutes and I rest 10. Or I work for 20 minutes and I rest 15. That is what I need. But I have to make sure that I put some work and then rest, put some work and then rest. Why? Because if you're not a person that is able to concentrate on a big job for a long period of time, you have to make sure that you put rest in between that work schedule. So Forest is one of those that is going to help you out. Toggle has that option as well, and you can create the routine that you want, the Pomodoro technique. You can choose the minutes that you want to work and the ones that you want to rest. Another one that is good, not another app, but another advantage of the Toggle app is that you can track how many hours you work. So you can track the hours and you can do it by category. So for example, if I'm having a birthday party on Saturday and I want to track how many hours I work, and I want to track what specifically things I do, I can put the app and then you just press start and start inflating the balloons. When you have all the balloons ready, you stop the app and then you go and work on maybe the backdrop. And then you just do that and then stop the app. So it tracks how many hours you work. So when you're trying to do the breakdown of the hours that you work, and it says you work for 7 hours and 2 of them were inflating the balloons, 2 of them were doing the backdrop, the other one was driving to and from the setup place, and the other 2 was the breakdown. Maybe that's how you want to make sure that you break down how many hours you work. Or maybe you just want to know in general how many hours you're working a week or a month. Toggle is the app to do that. So make sure to check it out. I believe that both of these are free. There might be more advanced version of Toggle, or even Forest. There might be a version of these apps that you have to pay. I can't remember if it is by month or by year, but there might be a choice on that. However, I believe the easier version, or the most basic version of those is free. Then CRM. How is a CRM going to help me for my systems and processes? Well, this is their main goal. Their main goal of any CRM software is to make sure that there's system in place, so when you onboard a client, you follow up the same steps. And when you send a contract, you follow up the same steps. So any of those, again, these are the ones that I done a free trial on, or the ones that I actually use or have used in the past. So these are some of the ones that you can check it out. Again, there's some other ones, Harpson, Asana, I believe even Trello. I can't remember if they have things for client management, but I believe that those are a good start to check them out. And then how am I gonna handle my inventory? Because most of us that are in the event decor industry, we carry big inventory. We have tablecloths, centerpieces, flowers, balloons. We have a lot of things to carry. So we have to make sure that we know that we actually have the material, and that is going to help me in the process, because if I have a client that is asking me for 30 dark navy tablecloths, I have to make sure that I have them. And instead of going to my storage or to my showroom and counting how many I have, if I have a piece of paper or a digital file where it can tell me how many do I have, I don't have to waste all that time counting them. So some of the CRM systems, they have that option, or you can track your inventory. I don't believe that all of them do. And if you are able to track the inventory, um it's probably a specific price for just that side of the CRM. So just check it out, depending on which one of the ones that you saw you choose. An easier way to track your inventory is to have a spreadsheet, and just make sure that you have, okay, these are the napkins that I have from these colors or these materials. I have these many centerpieces, and here's a picture. You can even put pictures on your spreadsheets. So here's the centerpieces that I have, here's a picture, and this is how much I rent them for. You can even do that. So any way that you want to track them, a CRM or a spreadsheet. And then there's apps as well. The one that I use, I believe this one you have to pay I can't remember it's $5 or $7, but if you want to, you can use inventory list app. You just Google it and or put it on the app store like that. It is black and purple. Their icon, I should have put it on here, but it is black and purple, and you can track your inventory that way. There's many other ones. I haven't tried them, so that's why I didn't put them on here. But if you just put inventory app on the app store or on a website or on Google, I believe you're gonna have a lot of options. So again, make sure that there is one that it works for you. Okay, so now we're getting organized. We are getting our systems and processes in place. There's so much more information about all those things that I just told you about. We can talk about CRMs or those apps just like for one whole hour, but I don't want to waste your time. So I want to make sure that you understand that this is to create productivity. All of this planning with the goals, the habits, creating systems, creating process is to be productive. Productive in our businesses. We have to make sure that we are using our time efficiently, because there's no use to me in spending 10, 20, 40, 50, 60 hours a week in my business if I'm not being productive and I'm not looking at progress, because then there's not going to be success, correct? So by doing all of these is because we want to make sure that we are productive. As you can see here, being busy is not necessarily being productive. You can be very busy, you can have a lot of clients, a lot of events to decorate, and you're not necessarily productive. And that's when you feel like a hamster on a wheel and there's no end in sight and you get burnt out. So that's why we're creating all of this, to be productive and to have success. So in order to do that, this is just a start. You can do a lot of more things, but this is just a start. Again, make a to-do list. This is a very important one. Make a to-do list so you know what's coming ahead. Plan ahead. If I know that I have 50 things on my to-do list, I'm going to plan to do some of them on Tuesday, some of them on Wednesday, some of them at the day of the event. You have to make sure that where the things that you need to do fit in your schedule. Choose a time management technique. So I have given classes just about time management because that is a big topic that we can talk a lot, a lot about. So there's many different techniques. I mentioned the Pomodoro technique where you should take 20 minutes and rest 5. You work 20 and rest 5, or 50 and 10, whatever works for you. So you can choose a time management technique that works for you. If you're more interested about, you can just Google it, or just come to our mastermind meeting. Sometimes we talk about time management. Just send me a DM and then I'll send you some information that I have on hand. Minimize distractions. When we work and there's a lot of things going around, then obviously we're not going to be productive. If I'm trying to work and take care of my children and watch TV and having a conversation with my partner at the same time, obviously, I'm not. It's not going to be the same as if I just sit down and do the work, because then I'm gonna accomplish much more. So that minimizing distractions is gonna help a lot. And then maintain focus. Why is that important? Because we can be working in our business if we're not doing a setup, but then we're thinking about something else and we either make a mistake, mess up, or we're just frustrated with ourselves. So by maintaining the focus on what we're doing at the moment, it's gonna increase productivity and it's gonna make us feel more in tune with the things that we're doing at that moment. So yeah, this is just a start. There's like, I can really take an hour in every single thing of this list, but this is just a start. If you want to make sure that you are productive, start with these 5 things and then we can build from there. Okay, now there is one more class, January 23rd. Now we're going to prepare ourselves to make money, because that's the ultimate goal, right? We want to make sure that our decor business are profitable. So in order to do that, join me January 23rd. If you have been to these past couple of classes, you have the information. If you are looking at the recording, then the third class is coming. If you're looking at the recording on YouTube, I'll put the link for the third class on here. And then let me tell you a little bit about myself. So if you want to know more information, if you want to get more education about the event decor industry, you can find me on Instagram, oralia.ae. We have a Facebook group. It is a private group. However, I believe if you look it up, it will come up. If not, send me um put a comment or send me a message on Instagram if Instagram is not your thing. But I can add you to the group, and it's basically a lot of information that I share on my Instagram page. But in case Instagram is not your thing, you can still get that same information on Facebook. If you want to work with me, I offer strategy sessions. Those are 45 minutes of coaching based on your business needs. You can just DM me to book 145 for each session. I send you I send you a questionnaire before, so I can make sure what are the areas that we need to work on. And then we have our session. And then after our session, I give you an action plan of the things that we talk about. And after that, there is follow up a couple of weeks, depending on what we talk about, a couple of weeks, maybe a little bit more after our first strategy session. And then if you want to join Event Decor Academy, that is my signature 90-day program that I help you with building a successful business. And I enroll 3 new students every month. I'm going to talk a little bit more about Event Decor Academy now that I have your attention. It is 90 days, however, you go at your own pace. It is high-touch coaching program that gives you one-on-one support, meaning you are working one-on-one with me to help you achieve the different business goals that you have. And also, you will receive a detailed curriculum, meaning you get an organized list of everything that we're going to talk about, all the classes that are available. You have a once a week coaching call with me. So we go and check things that you learn on the classes, things that you want to work on your business, your goals that you have, the things that you want to do in your business, and you have that once a week. However, there's daily support via Boxer. If you have a question, send me a message on Boxer and I'll answer it right away. If you have trouble with a client, with homework, with a class that you saw that you have some questions about anything that we talk about, you can always send me unlimited messages on Boxer if you join the program. And there's also action-oriented worksheets and templates. So what you have, the ones that you have seen so far are the goal tracker and the habit tracker, but we have lead trackers, we have client management templates and worksheets that you can use on your business to make sure that the organization is on point. So if you're interested on that, send me a DM, click on the link below as well to go to my page, and I'll make sure to help you with any of that. So I'll leave that right here. I'm going to stop the recording so now I can move on to questions for the people that are live. But in case you have any questions, you don't have to wait until the next session. So just send me a DM on Instagram if you have any questions about this, and I'll make sure to respond to them. And other than that, I'll see you next time, next Tuesday. If you're doing live, if you're watching the recording and you want to watch the session number 3 to make money, then I'll put the link below. Thanks. Bye.